Ever felt like a volcano about to erupt? We all experience anger, but sometimes it can feel like it controls us instead of us controlling it. This can lead to destructive consequences in our relationships, careers, and overall well-being. But fear not, fellow humans. There is a path to mastering anger, and it lies in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. In this video, we'll explore practical Stoic techniques that can help you transform your anger from a destructive force into a manageable emotion. 1. Identifying the root causes of anger. Anger rarely appears out of thin air. It's often a secondary emotion that arises from underlying feelings like fear, frustration, or hurt. To effectively manage anger, it's crucial to identify its root causes. Ask yourself, what triggered my anger? What emotions are simmering beneath the surface? What beliefs or expectations are fueling my anger? By understanding the true source of your anger, you can begin to address it at its core instead of reacting impulsively. 2. Applying the Stoic concept of dichotomy of control. Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between things we can control and things we cannot. We can control our thoughts, judgments, and actions, but we cannot control external events or the behavior of others. This understanding is crucial for managing anger. When we get angry at external events or the actions of others, we're essentially giving our power away. However, by focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts and reactions, we can maintain our composure and respond to situations in a more rational and constructive manner. 3. Delaying judgment. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to react impulsively to situations that trigger anger. However, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of delaying judgment. This means taking a step back before reacting, observing the situation objectively, and analyzing the facts before forming an opinion or taking action. By delaying judgment, we create space for rational thinking and avoid making decisions we might later regret. This allows us to respond to situations with greater clarity and effectiveness. 4. Practicing perspective taking. Another powerful Stoic technique for managing anger is perspective taking. This involves trying to see things from the other person's point of view and understand their motivations and emotions. By taking the perspective of the person who triggered your anger, you can develop empathy and understanding. This can help you dissipate anger and respond in a more compassionate and constructive manner. 5. Developing healthy anger expression strategies. While suppressing anger isn't healthy, it's equally important to avoid expressing it in a destructive way. Stoicism encourages finding healthy outlets for anger that don't harm yourself or others. Some healthy anger expression strategies include exercise. Physical activity can be a great way to release pent-up energy and reduce anger. Journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you process your anger in a healthy way. Talking to someone you trust. Sharing your anger with a supportive friend or therapist can be helpful. Engaging in relaxation techniques. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation can help calm the body and mind. 6. Recognizing the importance of external events. Stoicism reminds us that external events are beyond our control. While things may happen that trigger our anger, ultimately, it's our own interpretation and judgment that determines how we respond. By recognizing the unimportance of external events, we can detach ourselves from unnecessary anger and focus on what truly matters. This allows us to respond to situations with greater perspective and control. 7. Cultivating Stoic virtues. Ultimately, managing anger is a continuous journey of self-improvement. By cultivating Stoic virtues like courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance, we can develop the inner strength and resilience needed to navigate difficult emotions like anger effectively. Remember, transforming anger isn't about eliminating it entirely, but about learning to manage it constructively. By incorporating these Stoic principles into your life, you can learn to tame the flame of anger and cultivate a calmer, more peaceful state of mind. 8. Recognizing the destructiveness of anger. Stoicism views anger as a form of temporary madness. When we give in to anger, we lose control of our thoughts and actions, often leading to words and behaviors we later regret. By acknowledging the destructive potential of anger, we can develop a greater motivation to manage it effectively. This awareness can also help us recognize anger's negative impact on our relationships, career, and overall well-being. 9. Identifying anger triggers. We all have specific triggers that ignite our anger. By recognizing your personal triggers, you can learn to anticipate and avoid them. This might involve setting boundaries, communicating needs effectively, or simply removing yourself from situations that typically provoke anger. Once you identify your triggers, you can develop strategies for managing them in a healthy way. This might involve practicing relaxation techniques, taking a break, or simply reminding yourself to delay judgment and respond calmly. 10. Learning to forgive. Holding on to anger and resentment can be like swallowing poison and expecting the other person to die. Forgiveness is not about condoning the actions of others, but rather about releasing yourself from the negativity that anger creates. By practicing forgiveness, you can free yourself from the burden of anger and create space for healing and reconciliation. This doesn't necessarily mean forgetting what happened, but rather choosing not to let it control your present and future. 11. Finding humor in the absurdity of anger. Sometimes, the best way to deal with anger is to laugh at its absurdity. When we can see the humor in situations that trigger our anger, it can help us detach from the emotion and respond in a more lighthearted and forgiving way. Finding humor in anger doesn't mean minimizing the problem, but rather recognizing the irony and irrationality of allowing anger to control us. This perspective shift can be a powerful tool for reducing the intensity of anger and fostering a more peaceful state of mind. 12. Remembering your mortality. Stoicism reminds us that life is short and precious. It's easy to waste time and energy on anger and resentment, but ultimately, these emotions only hurt ourselves and those around us. By remembering our mortality, we can gain a greater sense of perspective and prioritize what truly matters in life. This awareness can motivate us to let go of anger and focus on building positive relationships, engaging in meaningful pursuits, and making the most of our limited time on Earth. By incorporating these additional Stoic principles into your life, you can further equip yourself with the tools needed to manage anger effectively and cultivate a calmer, more peaceful state of mind. Remember, mastering anger is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and continue to practice these principles for lasting transformation. 13. Recognizing the illusion of control. Anger often stems from the belief that we can control external events and the behavior of others. However, Stoicism teaches us that true control lies only over our own thoughts, judgments, and actions. Instead of trying to control uncontrollable things, we can focus on managing our own reactions. This shift in perspective can significantly reduce anger and promote greater emotional resilience. 14. Embracing Amor Fati. Amor Fati, which translates to love of fate, is a core Stoic principle that encourages us to accept everything that happens to us, including events that trigger anger. This doesn't mean passively accepting injustice or harmful situations, but rather acknowledging what is beyond our control and focusing on what we can. By accepting the impermanence of life and the inevitability of challenges, we can develop greater inner peace and reduce our susceptibility to anger. 15. Practicing self-compassion. Blaming and criticizing ourselves for feeling angry can actually make the situation worse. Stoicism encourages self-compassion, recognizing that anger is a natural human emotion. Instead of judging yourself harshly, acknowledge your anger with understanding and acceptance. This allows you to process the emotion in a healthier way and move forward constructively. 16. Focusing on gratitude. Focusing on what we are grateful for can shift our perspective and reduce anger. Taking time each day to appreciate the good things in our lives, despite challenges, can cultivate a sense of contentment and reduce the intensity of negative emotions like anger. 17. Leading by example. By managing our own anger effectively, we can inspire others to do the same. When we respond to situations calmly and rationally, even in the face of provocation, we demonstrate the power of Stoicism and encourage others to adopt similar principles for their own well-being. Remember, mastering anger is a continuous process. By incorporating these Stoic principles into your daily practice and seeking support when needed, you can navigate life's challenges with greater composure and inner peace.